guys, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day, and if not, I hope I can make it a little better. So I thought I would pause bookbinding for a week because look what turned up. I won a ScrawlrBox. Let's open it, see what's inside, and have a go at the challenge. So the box that I received is the August 2024 ScrawlrBox. I'm assuming that any of you guys who are subscribed to ScrawlrBox will already know the contents, but maybe if you're curious or you just like watching unboxings, you won't mind watching this again. So let's have a little whoops. Let's go through it piece by piece. Here we go, here's the Scrawlr-zine. Let's see what else there is. Here is the cute art that comes in every ScrawlrBox. Oh, it's so adorable. And here it is. The featured artist is Xuxiao. She is a British artist specializing in illustration and concept work in video games. How exciting. Here are their social medias if you wish to follow them. Now, I somewhat do know what's in this box, as if you follow ScrawlrBox on Instagram, every month they do a showcase and a giveaway. And so I specifically signed up to be entered into this giveaway because I like the contents of the box. These, Colorista by Spectrum Noir, ooh, fancy, art markers for ultra smooth colouring and blending. And this set is exclusive to ScrawlrBox. I'm assuming it's the colour range that is exclusive. Have a look on the back. They've got dual fine tip and brush. Oh, that is my favourite combination. They're alcohol based, so that means they should be really smooth when colouring with them. They dye colour, semi-transparent, which means you should be able to layer them. Streak free, self-blending. Okay, interesting. Fast drying, we like that. And it says ultra smooth translucent colour you can overlay and blend. Alcohol dye ink for flawless streak-free coverage. Fast drying for semi-permanent use on a range of surfaces. Okay. Dual tips for a choice of fine and brush strokes. And the colours, oh, these are cute colour names. Let's get in there. We will swatch them later, but for the moment, let's have a little read. Moonlight, Tea Rose, Cocoa, Dark Blue, Heather, Juniper, Cranberry, and Prussian Blue. And that sounds adorable. So here they are. And the booklet says that they are made for manga. It's a custom colour palette picked by us for you to get creative with. We've got the exciting mysterious bundle. A Sakura Pigment Micron in 2, which is a 0.3 line. And it's black. We have the iconic white Sakura Jelly Roll, and it says 08. Fun to try that later, see if it works. I have a continuing drama with finding a white pen that actually works. Ooh, what is this? We have a Derwent Artist pencil in French grey. It says 7000 on there. And a second one in Venetian red, and that says 6300. And here is the classic ScrawlrBox sticker. A paint on mixed media multi-technique paper recycled paper pad. It's in A5 and it is 250 GSM. Pretty good. 10 pieces, acid free. It's by Clairefontaine. Oh, it is lovely thick paper. Do we think that it'll be good enough to stop the alcohol inks from leaking through? We shall see. You know what? Let's do some swatching. Now, it didn't say in the Scrawlr-zine whether the inks go through the paper or not. Alcohol inks tend to go through the paper, so I put a little bit of protective ink catcher from my Ohuhu sets, just in case, because they've only given you 10 pieces and I don't want to waste the paper. Micron 2. It's a fine liner. There we go. Okay, let's try the pencils. So this one is French Grey, and I have never used Derwent artist pencils before, so okay, they're not as smooth as the Posca pencils. I feel like I'm really having to push to get colour out of it, but let's see how it works doing a gradient. Well, that faded away into nothing very quickly. They feel really waxy. Very, very waxy. On first impression, I think I prefer the Poscas because you can get a lot more colour out of them very quickly. But maybe these are better for shading over alcohol markers. I don't know. Maybe it's the paper. I'm not generally a fan of mixed media paper because it tends to be okay for everything, not great for anything. But anyway, that's how French Grey turned out. Let's have a go at Venetian Red, and then maybe we'll have a go at blending them together, see how they go. Okay, Venetian Red is coming out a bit better. I still feel like I'm really having to press, and it still feels really waxy. I think my Posca ones are oil based compared to these, which definitely feel like wax based. But that doesn't mean you can press down harder without them breaking, because that is my biggest drawback of the Posca pencils, is if you attempt to get a really fine nib and then press down, they do just instantly snap and you end up with the blunt nib all over again. So there's the Venetian Red. It's kind of like a brick red. I'm just going to have a quick look in the book and see if it says what kind of pencils they are. It doesn't say whether they are, so you know what, I will look them up, and voiceover Rachel will say now what kind of pencils they are. They are indeed wax based. Thank you, voiceover Rachel. Right, let's have a go at blending them. They blend all right. Here you go, guys. What do you think? And now let's swatch the pens. This is what the brush nib looks like. This is what the bullet nib looks like. And let's do the important test. Do the... Oh, I hate it when that happens. So these are the swatches, and I am so impressed at how juicy the colours are and how smoothly they went down. The darker colours are a little bit patchy on their first application, but that could be as much about how I applied them as it is them. But you know, I really can't complain. Maybe my only complaint is we have 2 light colours and then the rest are really quite heavy dark colours. So I'm a little bit anxious that I might get a bit heavy-handed and lose the lighter shades when I do a picture with them. Like, they instantly go very dark. But we'll see. But next, let's have a go at blending, shall we? So I'm gonna have a go at doing the 2 light ones, then I'll do some of the darker ones, and then maybe I'll be crazy and have a go at doing a light one into a dark one. Light into... Oh, I hate it when you can't put the lids on. Into Tea Rose. I mean, I don't know when I'd ever need this colour combination, but I feel like it's only fair to blend light into light and then dark into dark. Okay, they seem to be doing all right. We'll let them dry and we'll look at them at the end. Ooh, you get the alcohol smell when you do the blending. Let's be kind and let's do Heather into Prussian Blue into Duck Blue, I think. Heather into Prussian Blue into Duck Blue. Heather. Ooh. Into Prussian Blue. Ooh. Into Duck Blue. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because you can see how I apply these pens. I get quite heavy-handed with alcohol markers, so unless they're like really light ones as well, I tend to lose the lighter shades, especially when I'm blending. I really layer them up. So my biggest concern is that I'll be layering them so much that I'll lose the lighter tones that these pens are able to do and end up just with the darker ones. And I think maybe that's making me a bit anxious with this, oops, with the blending. I do feel a bit anxious that I'm just like watering everything down. Well, the opposite of watering everything down. Darkening everything up. Okay, we'll leave that there. And now let's go crazy and have a go at blending a light one with a dark one. Let's have a go at blending Tea Rose in with Cocoa. And I hope I don't forever contaminate the nib of Tea Rose. Well, it layers nicely. I'm concerned that blending is not going to occur here. You know what? Let's call it quits with that one because I know when a battle is lost. But let's have a look. The light into light went really nicely. Dark into dark is questionable. The Heather into Prussian Blue didn't work so well, but Prussian Blue into Duck Blue went quite well. I think it's pretty hard to see the blend lines on that one. And this is Tea Rose into Cocoa. You know what? It's not awful. It's not awful. Can't complain. Let's do a few more tests. Let's see if the jelly roll will show up to the party over the various colours and even the pencil. I'll be very curious to see how it works over the waxy pencil. So, pencil first. No. Okay, let's try again. Oh, here we go. Okay. That worked about as well as I could have hoped for over a waxy pencil, because you know wax is a resistant material, so putting liquid on top was always going to be a big ask. But let's see, more importantly, how it works over the alcohol markers. It doesn't seem to have been contaminated by the markers either. That's really nice. Wow, Jelly Roll! I'm impressed! I'm impressed! Okay, and I think the final test is to see how these pencils work over the ink. So let's just put the pale one down. Oh, wrong end again. Yeah, let's just put a pale one down and see how the pencils work over it. Gonna let the ink dry quickly to give them a fair chance. Okay, so this is the brown one. Let's see how we go. Okay. You know, I almost feel like it's going down better on the alcohol marker than it did on the paper by itself. I guess because there's a colour underneath, which makes this colour stand out better. So that's the brown one. Let's do the grey one. Oh. Okay. Grey is still struggling. Oh, I don't like how the grey is on that at all. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. You see that? I am not impressed with how the grey went down. The Venetian red is looking alright. French grey. You know what? I'm going to try a dark one as well to see if the grey stands out on the dark one. So this is the darkest one. This is Prussian blue. Just let it dry for a moment. Okay then, let's see how this grey works on a dark colour. I'm not feeling the grey. I'll be honest with you. Okay. Well, it seems to be working better on the dark colour. Oh, it's still ripping the paper a little bit. Yeah, it's ripping the paper a little bit. I don't like that. Well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be using these colours over a dark ink, but I don't like that they rip the paper up on top of the ink. I don't know if you can see that it's ripped the paper up. Well, okay, most of this I really like. Shall we see if it leaked through? I don't have anything on this. And okay, yeah, it did go through the paper, but with the ink catcher, this page was preserved, so I am not unhappy. So here are the final swatches and the August challenge is Manga Maidens. So let's do a picture with everything we've got. So when I saw these colours, I knew there was only ever 2 Manga Maidens that I could ever draw. They're my favourite cousins, and hopefully yours too. Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus from Sailor Moon. I sketched this drawing out using an Oxford Helix erasable colouring pencil. I know it wasn't included in the box, but I knew I wanted to do quite a complex pose considering the paper is A5. So I knew there'd be lots of erasing happening as I got the pose right. I wouldn't normally do such a complex pose using A5 paper. I'd probably do a much closer up portrait, but I wanted to include both characters because I don't think you can have Neptune without Uranus. So I just crossed my fingers that it wouldn't look too janky considering my artistic ability. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I also didn't know if I wanted to do them in street clothes or their sailor uniforms, but I thought if I did end up making them look a little bit questionable, because I wanted to do them in my style but still be Sailor Senshi, that drawing them in a uniform would make them more identifiable. It does mean I didn't use all the coloured pens in the set provided, but I think I used the ones I did have to the best of their ability. Out of all the pens, I found the Tea Rose Pink the most delightful to use. It was really great to layer with, and I found that it blended wonderfully. The Moonlight Yellow was probably the least successful out of all the pens, not because there was anything wrong with it. It had a lovely colour. I really like the pale yellow, but I found I couldn't build the colour up like I could with the other pens. The darker pens had such a range, and even the Tea Rose had a really gentle range, but the yellow really felt like it was just a flat yellow. I also really liked that the nibs provided were brush and a bullet nib. Normally, it's usually either a brush or a chisel, or a bullet nib and a chisel. So I was really glad to get my two favourites, because if you've watched many of my alcohol ink videos in the past, you will know that I am not a fan of the chisel nib. Sorry, chisel nib fans. The brush isn't the most brushy of brushes. It's somewhat, I would say, in between a brush and a bullet nib, but you can still get a variety of line whips with it. The bullet is just like your standard felt tip nib, which is great if you want to get into the little cracks and not be worried that you might slip whilst using the brush and go over the lines, like I do a lot. I sometimes get a little heavy-handed when I'm using the brush nib, and I'll go over a line and then I'll just keep going over it, trying to correct it and just making it worse. Knowing that I could just flip the pen over and use a bullet nib instead took so much stress away. The bullet brush combination, as well as the blending ability of these pens, makes me think I actually really would like to look into getting some more Colorista pens in the future. I enjoyed using them that much. It was really scary going in with the dark colours, I think because I hadn't outlined the drawing first. I'm so used to doing the line work last with watercolour that I've kind of got used to doing that in general with any sort of traditional art now. So when I went in with the dark colours, it made such a contrast with the pale tea rose. I was like, oh no, what have I done? I've messed up. But I think once I add the fine liner, everything sort of comes together. Let me know what you think. And I'm afraid I continue to not be a fan of the Derwent Artist pencils. Maybe it's me, maybe I'm just doing something wrong, but I didn't find them smooth to use. Let me know if you use them and if you have any tips on how to get them to be smoother. Or I would also love to know if you are the kind of person that uses pencil over alcohol marker, what pencils it is you use. Because as much as I do love my Posca pencils, I am very aware that they're very bright and bold. You can't always be subtle with them, and I would like some subtle colours for shading if I was going to do that technique in the future. Because the colours chosen, the French grey and the Venetian red, were good colours. I just didn't find the consistency great. But talking about colour and consistency, wow, that Jelly Roll pen really came through. Maybe I have finally found the perfect white pen. Let me know if Jelly Roll is what you use. So here we have my favourite anime maidens, Sailors Neptune and Uranus from Sailor Moon. How do you think it turned out? It was a bit worrying for a moment when I put the green down, I have to say, but once I got the fine liner in, it felt much better and I was much happier with it. Do you think you would like to use the Colorista pens? I'm really impressed with them, and I definitely think I'd like to get some more in some more mid-tones, I think, because my biggest problem and my biggest fear was that we had quite light pens and then really quite dark pens. So mid-tones would be perfect. Would you like to see me do some more fan art in the future? I do quite enjoy it, but I never feel like I have a reason to do it. So it was great to do some today. Please let me know in the comment section below. Well, thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. I'd love to know what your favourite part was. If you could leave a comment in the comment section below. If you could like, subscribe, turn on all notifications and share this video, that would be amazing. You can follow me at Enchanted Violin on Instagram, TikTok and Threads. Links will be in the description box below, as well as links to my online comic companions, my Patreon, my Ko-fi and more. And I'll see you next time. Bye!